it do, my baby boos, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, hey, hi, how are you? What it do? My name is Alyssa, and I am the girl with the plum bob tattoo. Welcome to the channel. Now, I am a bit late to this, as you know, but I just found out about the horse leak that has been going on, and I thought I would give my 2 cents on the matter because this is something that I've made videos on in the past, and y'all clowned me before. You guys were like, no, The Sims isn't gonna make horses, like there's no way that would work, and if they were gonna include horses, they would have done it in the cats and dogs expansion and blah blah blah. And you know, after I saw that they had been coded in, I was like, well, it's only a matter of time, like it's gonna happen. And I made that video about 2-ish years ago, I want to say, and yeah, people were not receiving it well. They were like, you know, I could care less about horses, and we had other things that we wanted. I think University hadn't even come out yet, so people were like, I want University, I want, you know, like different things for the game before we get horses. And now we have all those things, so they're finally releasing horses. But the thing that's getting me about it is that it's an expansion pack. Listen, okay, Vampires got a game pack, and they had in that pack a brand new life form, vampires obviously. They had a level system, they had a new world, they had new build items and new cast items and lore. It was very jam-packed, especially for a game pack, and I'm just trying to figure out what could possibly be in a horse expansion pack that is worth double the money that we paid for vampires. I'm just kind of worried. I'm a little nervous because we all know that The Sims is notorious for releasing incomplete packs and charging up the butt for them. So I'm just a little bit nervous. So I put together a list that's, you know, I'm hoping that the Sims team sees it, but I'm sure it's already said and done anyway, so there's nothing that I can really do. But I would hope that at least some of this stuff is in there. I just need something to help me justify spending $40 on a pack for one new life form. I'm hoping that at least some of these things that I'm listing are gonna be in there. So let's just get started right now, okay? The pack is called, as far as I know, it's called The Sims 4 Horse Ranch, and that's just according to the leak. So I put some Western stuff in here as well, hoping that maybe it's gonna be like some kind of farmlandy kind of thing. They kind of went near farmland when it came to the world in Cats and Dogs and Cottage Living. So, but they didn't go like Wild West. So I'm hoping that some of that's in there. Anyways, let's start the list. So number 1, we need a very large world with some very spacious neighborhoods with vast places to explore on your horses. Perhaps some bigger lots to go with it too. So some of those lots, maybe we could use them for like some equestrian kind of type things. Maybe you could build your own like center and have some horse races there. So having a very large lot to build on would make sense if you're trying to, you know, have a whole like course for your horse races and stuff. Hopefully we would get that in some build and buy mode objects and stuff too. Number 2, a level system with training your horse like vampires and mermaids have. So maybe once you reach the top, you're gifted like a unicorn serum for the horse or something like that, like some kind of goal. Because like I was saying, like with mermaids and with vampires, they both have a level up system where they get more powers or become just more involved as a character. And I'm just kind of like, I don't really know what to expect when it comes to doing the same thing for a horse. So I'm hoping that they figure something out and that it ends up really working. And, you know, having a leveling up system was a very good thing, I think, to add for different life forms. So if they did it with horses, I mean, I'm just trying to think like what could possibly be worth more than the vampire pack being a game pack, you know, when it's just horses. It's just horses, you guys. Like, I don't get it. Anyways, number 3, to tie back into number 2, I want unicorns. Obviously. I mean, come on, if it's a horse expansion pack, there's gonna be unicorns. Like, I know for a fact. Well, I guess not a fact because I don't work for EA, but unicorns better be up in there because they've been in the game for a long time. I'm talking The Sims 3, there were unicorns up in our world at like 12 midnight, you know, and you could just wander up to one, pet it, talk to it, maybe even get a blessing from the unicorn. Hopefully they would have some kind of like magical properties that are like healing or good luck or something like that, some kind of gift. Or if you mistreat a unicorn, maybe you could mistreat it, like talk down to it or something, and it would curse you, something like that. I think that would be really on brand, I guess, for The Sims, and it would help make this pack a little bit more valuable, at least in my eyes. And you know, you could play around with them and give them like maybe different horns or whatever. Or let's go into the next point, which is spray paint create a sim like with cats and dogs to design your own horses and unicorns. Maybe you can make a horse or unicorn. Can you imagine a pastel pink unicorn with like a heart on its butt? You know, like a really cute, really pretty horn. I don't know. I'm so excited though, like just thinking about it, I'm like kind of like getting all giddy up in my chair. Obviously, like we should definitely be able to design our own horses, because I think everybody has their own idea of what a perfect horse would look like in their brain. And if it's not already pre-made, it would be really nice to be able to just kind of design it yourself. I know for me, like when I think about a horse, I think about pintos automatically, because my family owned a pinto. Not my like immediate family, but like my grandparents and uncles and whatever, they live on a farm, so they owned a pinto for a long time. And when I think horses, I think of that really cute pinto horse named Sparrow. She was my baby. I don't know, I'm just hoping that we're able to design our own and get creative with it. I don't know, I just think that would be really cool. Number 5, horse related careers. So obviously if we have an equestrian center, we're gonna need some jockeys, maybe a stable person, like a stable boy or a stable girl, someone to run the equestrian centers. Maybe we could have like an actual playable career with it, where you're actually going to the equestrian center and checking people in and taking care of the horses or whatever, like running the whole equestrian center. That would be really, really fun. Gamble on the horse races. This is also on my list. It's number 9, but I'm just gonna say it right now, like horse races and gambling. I mean, come on, like that could be like a whole day. You could make a whole day out of going to a horse race and betting on the horses and maybe getting some really good cash from that. Maybe you would only have it open like once or twice a week, or like just on the weekends or something, so people don't abuse it and go to the horse races every day. But maybe, I mean, you know, like people do get addicted to gambling, so I guess that could be like your storyline or whatever. But I'm just saying, like horse races, gambling, like that's a whole thing in itself. And if we're paying 40 simoleons for this expansion pack, it better be worth it, girl. It better be worth it. And so I think that gambling could really like tie into that well. So instead of labeling that number 9, I'm gonna label it number 6, and number 7 now is tameable wild horses. So again, in The Sims 3, we had tameable wild horses in any capacity. Wild horses running free in at least the new world would be really, really cool. Maybe the hidden world that I talked about, maybe that could have the wild horses in it. Maybe you could go to that hidden world and find a wild horse in that world if you want to be able to, you know, tame someone that hasn't been caught yet. So number 8 would be wild western and barn build items, along with normal household items, of course. So I know I'm just gonna say it, like when they made cows and llamas stuck to their pre-made barns, I was a little disappointed, I'm not gonna lie. They are cows though, so it's not a huge big deal. But if they dare put a horse in like a confined barn that doesn't move and it was pre-made and you can't decorate it yourself, I will pull my hair out, because like how dare you make a horse, give it to us, make us pay $40 for it, and have it confined to a pre-made barn. I want to be able to make my own. I really wish I could make my own for the cows as it is, but if they better not pre-make it for horses, all I'm gonna say. But if they gave us barn build items, maybe we could make a modern barn, a brand new barn, something that looks like it was made in the 2020s, or an old one that was made back in the 1800s or like the early 1900s that's like barely hanging on by a couple, you know, 2x4s. That would be really cool. Some like worn down barn paint, barn doors, of course, like some feed and stuff like that. But like hay, I think we need a little bit more hay. I think think we do. I think we need a little bit more. And some kind of Wild Western themes. If it's going to be called Horse Ranch, the first thing that comes to my mind is a Wild West town. And I know Strangerville is kind of that, but it's not like all of that. Like it's its own thing, you know? It's got its own storyline. It's doing its own thing. So maybe if we had like some kind of old world, 1800s, old saloon kind of thing going on, that would be really, really cool. So instead of number 9, we're going straight to number 10, which is relationship dynamics and different personality traits. So the horse could be untrainable, friendly, stubborn, wild, loving, etc. So maybe if you find a wild horse, maybe like the dynamics in your relationship is just completely like it won't get along. It's like those two puzzle pieces that don't fit, you know? Like you will never train this horse to love you or whatever. And maybe you would be able to like talk to the horse or whatever and be able to see that its trait is not going to let you get any closer to it, because you know, with relationship dynamics we have a lot more when it comes to growing together. And what I really love about that is that I'm learning and seeing and finding new things about this pack all the time. Like it's just so large, there's so many different dynamics that you have to go through in order to experience all of it, and I love that. I wish there was more of that, so I'm hoping that like there are little tidbits like that, especially with the relationship dynamics for horses. And number 11, I think we're at right now, is traveling to different worlds or lots with the horses like it is a car system. And hopefully if they do this, they can figure out a way to implement cars into the game in general. I know I get clowned on a lot again because people say that cars would not work in The Sims 4 because it's a closed world, but I will just go ahead and redirect you and reverse Uno card you with The Sims 2. Come on, The Sims 2 had a system where the Sims were confined to their own little sandbox worlds, but the car pulled out of the driveway and drove down the block, and then you went to your loading screen. I feel like we could definitely do that with The Sims 4, and I think a lot of people are enabling some lazy behavior with EA, because I think it's completely doable. If they only have so many worlds that they have right now, right? And so many neighborhoods within those worlds. I think if they took like a couple months, I don't know, however long it takes to go through every world. And in order to explain this, imagine like a trolley, you know, or a train, and having the tracks on the road, you know, going one way or the other, but having the tracks be invisible and having the cars or the horses attached to those tracks. And so they definitely go on the road whichever way that you want them to go. And instead of walking off of, you know, out into a loading screen down the block, you ride your horse down the block and then it goes into a loading screen. And then once you get to your destination, then you're still riding your horse, and your horse is like coming down, or your car is driving down the street and pulling into your destination. I feel like that's super doable. I just think that people have been enabling it for a long time because obviously you guys wanted different things, and so did I. So, but now that we're here and we're in 2023 and it seems like there's no stop in sight. I mean, I know they're working on The Sims 5, but they're trying to still release some things here and there. So I feel like horses and cars, they're like a big part of gameplay that they just need to be there. And now that horses are here, I have more hope that one day we may get cars in the future. I mean, we have freaking garage doors. We're almost there, you guys. We're almost there. Anyways, you guys, this was just my personal list. If you have anything that you wanted to add to make it worthwhile for like a $40 pack, let me know. I'm just saying, like, if it's not fleshed out, I'm gonna be really mad that it's an expansion pack. Like, you don't even know. I just don't understand. I always thought that this would be a game pack. That's just what I always thought it would be. So obviously it's gotta have something in there that they think is worth and has enough substance for $40. Like, I don't know. And that's just, you know, US. It could be a different price for other people. But anyways, that is gonna be it for me today. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like I said, give me a comment, like and subscribe the video if you could. It would really help me out. And I will see you all in my very next video. Bye, loves. Mwah.